Last week, I cold emailed a billionaire and told him that I wanted to partner with his company, and he replied in less than 20 minutes saying great pitch and connected me to his partnership manager. In this video, you'll find out who this mysterious billionaire was and how I wrote an email so good that he stopped everything, replied, and connected me to the right person. Then you will learn the dirty strategy for how you can send millions of these types of emails completely automated and predictably grow your business whenever you want because you write cold emails that are so good that they literally force people to reply. So a couple of weeks ago, I had a problem. Our business Mailscale was growing, but not as much as I would like to. Our technical co-founder Mo challenged me to find a better way to get clients, and he suggested that we could partner with other sales tools. There's nothing that I hate more than disappointing him or myself, so I said, why not create a list of companies that we could integrate with. One of those companies was Seamless. Seamless is one of those tools that you may have never heard of, but they've built $1 billion company providing emails and phone numbers of leads. And I honestly couldn't believe it. Millions of salespeople use this tool every day, and it wasn't even on my radar. So I started doing some research and I found the email of its founder, Brandon. And here's an important lesson, by the way. It's very easy to find emails when you're doing cold email outreach. 99% of people use some variation of firstname@companyname.com. I think I personally used Apollo.io to find his. Now that I had his email, it was time to write a cold email. But how in the world was I going to get the attention of $1 billion founder? This guy's as busy as you can get, and he's probably heard thousands of pitches. So the only way to really get his attention was to show him that he was missing out on a massive opportunity. And this applies to any cold email, by the way. You need to instantly show people where they are, where they could be, and that the gap is massive. So here's a simple framework that I use to get Brandon to reply within minutes. It starts with personalization to make it unique. Then we point out the problem, offer a solution, and end with a call to action. And here's how I use this framework. I started the email with Brandon. Congrats on the G2 award for Seamless. I can only approve since it's how I found Jake's email. Pretty easy, just a compliment based on a recent accomplishment and a reference to a team member. There's really nothing crazy about this personalization. Any compliment works as long as it doesn't sound templated. Now comes the problem. Here's what I wrote. I'm reaching out because I noticed you're not in the cold email infrastructure space yet. This is currently the biggest opportunity in cold outreach where Instantly, SmartLead, and Apollo are heavily investing. By the way, all of those are direct competitors of his. So what I did was to introduce a problem with an observation of what they're currently not doing. Then I showed the cost of not acting, pointing out how other big sales companies are investing in this space. By the way, in marketing, this is classic scarcity and FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's a very powerful psychological driver. And now the solution. I believe a partnership could support you on your way to 100 million ARR. Our software Mailscale is the easiest way to set up domains and inboxes for outreach faster than the Ferrari you had. Demand is massive. We bootstrapped to 1 million ARR in months without any advertising. Notice how I tied the value to his personal goals, which I found online, which is the 100 million ARR goal. I also added another personalization with the Ferrari since I saw that he had one. For the CTA, the call to action, I said, would love to chat and explore how the technology we've built could help Seamless. This is called a soft call to action. I'm not asking for a call, I'm not asking for a sale, I'm just opening the door to a conversation. This email had all the psychological triggers needed to get a reply, because not replying could mean missing out on a major opportunity and potentially missing the goal of 100 million ARR. And that's why he responded within minutes and connected me to his team. Now, before I show you how to send these kinds of emails at scale without typing manually, you might wonder what happened next. Now, I can't reveal too much, but I followed up with his partnership manager. We got on a call and I prepared a presentation on how our partnership could help them. And we then continued the conversation from there. So maybe I can report on this in the future. You know, it's pretty insane if you think about it. You can email the wealthiest people in the world and have them read it, and they can change your life or business overnight just from one opportunity that you created yourself. No connections, no funds, no luck needed. You create your own luck. But unless you're only emailing billionaires, sending cold emails one by one is kind of unrealistic. The good news is that you can automate it completely. You can send hundreds of thousands of emails per month for less than $500. And that's how I grew my 2 previous agencies, a marketing agency and a lead gen agency, to 7 figures. When you first hear about cold email and how it works, it might sound a little complicated, but you can literally set it up in hours and build an automated sales force that sells your product or service thousands of times every single day. And here's how. Step number 1 is to set up your email infrastructure. Unfortunately, you can't send thousands of emails from one inbox. You would land in the spam folder. Google and Outlook detect it, and they absolutely hate it. They're advertising platforms. They want us to run ads and spend money on ads and not to send spammy emails. So what most people do, including me, was to buy domains similar to your main domain. For example, instead of mailscale.ai, I would buy more domains like trymailscale.com or getmailscale.com. I then set up to 5 inboxes underneath each domain. So in total, I recommend recommend starting with 10 domains and 50 inboxes, because that gives you the ability to contact 5 to 10,000 businesses every month. That's a solid foundation to start generating leads predictably. Now, the problem is that Google and Outlook charge over $7 a month per inbox. So when I ran my lead generation agency where I helped clients with cold email, I used to spend over $10,000 a month for inboxes that kept getting blocked because they don't allow cold emailing. And it took hundreds of hours to set them up manually one by one. And that's actually why I created Mailscale a year and a half ago. At first just for myself to solve this problem and to create an email infrastructure that would allow me to cut costs by 80% and create these inboxes in seconds. Today, our tool became so popular that over 2,000 agencies and B2B firms use it. It actually grew so fast that I had to shut down my agency. Now back to setting up your cold email system though. You don't have to use Mailscale. Mailscale lets you create hundreds of inboxes. Think of them as your AI sales reps that do outreach for you on a daily basis. Now the second part is the email addresses. Where do you get leads? Where do you get hundreds of thousands of emails of your ideal clients? Well, like I said earlier, guessing emails is actually pretty easy, and that's why there are databases like Apollo.io with over 300 million contacts. You can just filter for your ideal clients and download them. To bypass Apollo's manual limits, you can use resellers like FindElite as well, who offer 10,000 even verified emails for under $50, so quite a no-brainer. If you target local businesses, check out D7 Lead Finder. They can pull hundreds of thousands of emails for under $200, which is honestly ridiculous. Now the third and last step is to import your inboxes into a sending tool like SmartLead or Instantly. By the way, you can add all your Mailscale inboxes literally within a click. And these tools will also warm up your inboxes automatically by sending test emails. This helps you land in the inbox instead of the spam folder. I recommend you to start sending outreach emails only 7 to 14 days after the warm-up, because you just bought these new domains and when you start sending cold emails on day one, Google and Outlook usually put you into the spam. Then you can create a campaign inside of your sending tool. Add all of your leads and write a sequence of emails. Include follow-ups that will automatically stop sending once someone replies. And this is literally how you can send hundreds of thousands of emails for under $500. And the ROI is insane. Just like any marketing channel, obviously you'll need to test and tweak your messaging until something works. So don't expect that the first campaign is already going to be a huge success. But honestly, we've made it so easy to start. There are a ton of free videos on this channel that will help you get started. If you want to learn more about cold emailing, I'll leave a link in the description of this video that you should watch next. I hope you enjoyed this video on how I got a billionaire to reply to my cold email. If you want to try Mailscale, you can do it completely free. Right now, we'll even buy a domain for you so that you can see the power of cold email for yourself without any risk. See you in the next video, and bye-bye.